Hello students, welcome to the session. I am Mr. Manoj H. Mota, Assistant Professor, Department of Civil Engineering. This session is on reinforced cement concrete, which is popularly known as RCC. The outcome of this session. At the end of this session, you will be able to explain the RCC as a major building construction material with all major aspects associated with it. So we'll start the discussion with plain cement concrete. Plain cement concrete is a construction material obtained by mixing cement, aggregate and water in predetermined proportion. This forms the plain cement concrete. When these ingredients are mixed, they form a plastic mass which can be poured in suitable molds, which are popularly called as forms, and set on standing into hard solid mass. So this plain cement concrete needs the setting. In initial stage it is a plastic mass and we can convert it into any desirable shape by pouring it into a suitable forms or molds. The process of gaining strength and hardness is rapid in case of plain cement concrete in initial stage. This stage is around 1 month after the mixing. After 1 month, generally the concrete gains almost the design strength, and after that even it keeps on gaining the strength, but the rate of gaining the strength is very less, almost negligible. Cement concrete is considered as a major building material in all types of construction. The key reasons for this is that it can be rapidly molded into a durable structure items for various sizes and shapes. We can cast a element of any size, of any shape, of any desirable dimensions anytime with the help of cement concrete. It is possible to control the properties of it within a wide range by using the appropriate ingredients and by applying special mechanical, chemical and physical processing technique. It is possible to mechanize completely its preparation and placing process. It possesses the adequate plasticity for mechanical working. So because of this, the PCC is supposed to be one of the very popular material, but this even has a certain limitations. The plain cement concrete is weak in tension, though it has enough strength in compression. Or in other words, it is very strong in tension, but at the same time it is unable to bear the tensile stresses. Due to little strength in tension, it is weak in bending, shear and torsion. Hence, the plain cement concrete is limited in its application where the principal requirement is to exposure to a tensile stress. The use of plain cement concrete is limited to the application where great compressive strength and weight are the principal requirements and where tensile stresses are either totally absent or are extremely low. So to find out the answer for this, the RCC has been devised. So concrete once set will take a superimposed load that compresses it but fail because of the weakness in carrying out the tensile stresses. On other hand, the steel is very strong in taking tension. So we can take the advantage of this property of steel by introducing it into that part of plain cement concrete where there are tensile stresses getting developed. So the two materials are combined to enable the combination to perform well in tension as well as compression by placing steel rods in the position where reinforcing is essential to improve the tensile strength, especially in case of beams and lintels. Thus, reinforcement is used to help resist compressive forces or to improve dynamic properties like the tension. A reinforced concrete section where the concrete resists the compression and steel resists the tension can be made almost of any shape and size required into the construction. Unreinforced concrete cracks under relatively small loads or temperature change because of the low tensile strength. These cracks are unsightly and can cause structural failure. To prevent this cracking or to control the size of crack openings, reinforcement is incorporated into the concrete. Generally, steel wires or steel bars are used for the reinforcement. The concrete so obtained is termed as reinforced cement concrete or RCC. During construction, the bars are placed in a form and then concrete from a mixer is poured in the form of embed them. After the concrete has hardened, deformation is resisted and stresses are transferred from concrete to reinforcement by the bonding between them by friction and adhesion along the surface of the reinforcement. Reinforced concrete can be used to construct either skeletal frames, floors, slabs, walls, etc., which are either precast in a factory or can be casted at a site where it can be permanently placed. The combination of steel and concrete becomes practicable and workable. The concrete, while setting, grips very fast the surface of steel bars. This results in very good bonding between these two materials, and therefore the concrete is able to transmit the steel bars those stresses which cannot resist by the concrete itself. The coefficient of linear expansion of concrete and steel even are almost same, and therefore no neutral stresses are set up within reinforced concrete due to variation in temperature. Generally, as we are aware, the change in temperature causes the change in the size of the element and may cause the deformation or the elongation. But if two different materials having the same coefficient of expansion can be used, then there will be no change in the relative dimensions of these materials, and because of which even the combination of steel and PCC has been done. The coating of cement grout on the surface of steel bars protect them from corrosion and does not produce any adverse chemical effect. This is even one of the very important aspect of the RCC, where there is no bad impact of the coating of cement grout onto the steel bars. The advantages of RCC. It is economical in ultimate cost. The total cost can be reduced if we use the reinforced cement concrete and if we compare it with the PCC or any other material. Its monolithic characters gives much rigidity to the structure. It is very durable and fire resisting. It does not rot or decay and is not attacked by the termites. It is almost impermeable to the moisture if the proper care has been taken while its production. The cost of maintenance of RCC is almost nil. You won't find a major cost of maintenance throughout the life of the RCC structure. The material used in RCC are easily obtainable. Generally, the materials used in case of PCC as cement, aggregates, water and the steel bars are easily available in the markets. You will hardly find that there is a shortage of such materials for a very long time. The flexibility of the reinforcement and the fluidity of concrete make possible the reinforced concrete members to be molded in any desirable shape. Thus, reinforced concrete lends itself a wide range of architectural expression too. We can cast the RCC elements in any desirable shape and you can have any architectural impact that can be required for the beautification of the structure. The problem sometimes occur is a corrosion of steel in concrete. So following are the factors responsible for causing corrosion in steel in concrete. First is the improper construction methods. Second is inadequate design procedure. Then insufficient cover to steel from exposed concrete surface. Permeability of concrete, which depends on various factors such as water cement ratio, size of aggregates, curing done, the grading of aggregates, etc. Poor workmanship, presence of moisture in excessive proportion in concrete, or the presence of salts in either aggregates or the water used, type of atmospheric condition surrounding the region of concrete, and unequal distribution of oxygen over the steel surface. So because of these reasons, sometimes the corrosion of steel can be occurred in case of RCC, but we can easily prevent it by covering it with suitable material like oxides of different metals or the colors. The effect of corrosion. The action of corrosion of steel in concrete is very slow, and except under exceptional circumstances, such corrosion does not decrease the life of concrete member. It should, however, be remembered that the action of corrosion becomes more intensive when it is combined with adverse effect of internal and external stresses. One important effect of corrosion is the formation of cracks, and these cracks usually progress or advances most rapidly where shear stresses are the greatest and where slipping occurs due to the loss of bond. So, prevention of corrosion, how we can prevent it? To minimize the chance of development of corrosion of steel in concrete, following measures can be taken. Avoiding the steel come into the contact with bricks, in particular soil, wood and other porous non-alkaline material. Avoiding the use of materials which accelerate the process of corrosion, like aggregates with high salt content and water containing salts or hard water. Maintaining a high degree of workmanship. This is the best way of preventing the corrosion. The proper structural design with due provision of cover. Lesser cover always results in acceleration of corrosion. On the other hand, the appropriate provision of cover always results in almost negligible chances of the corrosion of steel bars. Providing cathodic protection to reinforcement by some suitable method. Providing surface coating with paints, tars, asphalts, etc. And the use of high quality and impermeable ingredients. Let's try to understand the different causes of failure of RCC structure. Why the RCC structure can collapse. So when the member is subjected to excessive tension so as to exceed the permissible stress in steel, and is the major reason of the failure of any RCC structure. And that's why the RCC structure needs to be designed with utmost care. When the loading is such that the compressive stress in concrete exceeds its safe permissible value. When the concrete is subjected to excessive shear force on account of the slipping of steel bars from the concrete because of one or another reason. Due to bad quality of material used that can cause shrinkage, creep or thermal effect. And when the member is subjected to extreme of temperature, aggressive liquids or gases. So general design requirements includes an efficient design. So it requires the material to be properly selected, proportioned and arranged to carry the required loads without developing stresses which are excessive than the allowable working stress. Due consideration for the effect of continuity and the distribution of different types of stresses. To decide suitable arrangement of beams, columns, foundations, etc. for the structure on the layout plan, to determine all types of loads and forces to which the structure is likely to be subjected to, then to analyze the structure and to calculate stresses, moments and shears etc. into the members, to work out safe section and area of steel for different members, to provide the calculated area for tensile, compressive, shear or temperature reinforcement in correct position so as to ensure that the stresses remain within permissible limit, to provide sufficient anchorage for all reinforcement so that the anchorage and bond requirements are fully met. So these were the general design requirements. So different RCC structures with which a civil engineer generally used to go with are the roof slab, beams, columns, lintels with sunshade, staircase. These are some very common RCC structures in building construction. These structures give a frame to the whole building. Generally, RCC is used majorly for the forming a frame of a building, and in between that the enclosure can be achieved by a construction of different walls, while the ventilation and allied requirements can be fulfilled by the provision of doors and windows. A framed structure consists of a series of frames formed of a column or pillars or stanchions which are connected by means of beams at floor and roof levels. The load on the roofs, floors, roofs and panel walls are supported by the beams, which in turn transmit this load to the columns, and these columns in turn carry the whole weight of the structure and then transfer it to the foundation. And foundation ultimately transfer this load to the soil laying beneath. The major advantages of framed structure. The one major advantage is the thin panels. Generally, the framed structure used to have very thin panels in the form of walls. The external and internal walls are generally much thinner if we compare it with the other type of structure like load bearing. Then the construction of RCC or frame structure is much speedier and much faster as compared to any other type of construction. Even because of the possibility of moving the walls, as walls are not the major structural members in case of frame structure, we have a much larger freedom in planning. We even can use a proper material at various places. RCC or the framed structures offer much better resistance to the vibrations which may take place for the different cases like earthquake. It can be used in case of unreliable soils too with much more confidence, and the stability of such structure even are much better as compared to the load bearing structures. Ultimately, because of it, the economy in construction can be achieved. So that's it for this session. Let's meet in the next session to learn more. Thank you for your patience learning, and don't forget to like, comment, subscribe and share it with all budding civil engineers. Thank you.